Guys, welcome to the Bourbon in College YouTube channel. I'm Austin. Today I'm going to teach you how to drink bourbon. Let's get started. So today, for this podcast, I'm drinking Four Roses Single Barrel Strength Private Select. It's a store pick from Tony K's in Houston. I've talked about it on my Instagram before, so you can go check that out. But it is OESF recipe. For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so Four Roses Bourbon Company, when they do barrel selects, they have 6 different recipes. They have 2 different mash bills and 6 different yeast strains that they use to create. 3 different yeast strains that they use to create 6 different recipes, and usually those are blended together, but for their single barrels it's 1 recipe per barrel. So that's what this is, but that's not the point of today's video. Today's video is I'm going to teach you how I approach a bourbon, especially for the first time, just kind of how I analyze it. Now, this is not saying, I'm obviously not saying that's how you have to drink bourbon. How I'm going to misquote but roughly quote the Whiskey Tribe in saying the best way to drink bourbon is the way you like to drink it, how you like to drink it. And I'm definitely a proponent of that. Also, even if you're a whiskey enthusiast and you want to try it in every way possible, you want to do multiple things. This is just how I do it, and this is how I do it the first time, when I'm really trying to analyze something for the first time. I also like to put things on ice and do different ways to really experience the whole gambit of flavors that a bourbon has to offer. But again, when I first analyze a whiskey, this is what I do. First, you look at it. You look at the color, maybe compare it to something similar. Is it darker than usual, lighter than what you're used to? It seems like a normal bourbon color to me. Nothing really screams different about it. It's a nice golden brown, pretty opaque. It's not too oily, I don't think. The next step, and this is really easy, is you want to smell it, or see what's on the nose. When people say on the nose, they're just being snooty, including me, and saying this is what it smells like. What you want to do, you don't want to go in there and just, because you'll burn your nostrils like that. There's a little bit of a technique to it. Again, do it how you want to do it, but this is how you should definitely start. First, smell with your mouth open, like this. You're going to look weird, but you want to smell with your mouth open, because that lets the alcohol vapors pass through instead of build up in your nose and your sinus cavity. Then you want to get just close enough to where it starts to sting, and then back up a little bit. And that's where you want to smell. Then you don't want to stick your nose in there the whole time too. Take a whiff, come back, think about it, maybe talk about it to yourself. Sniff, think about it. Maybe compare it, write notes. Another thing that's important, this is true for the nosing, the tasting, and the finish, is especially if you're new, have a reference point. The Whiskey Smiths have a tasting sheet. It's much like a wine tasting sheet. It just gives you options. It's hard to go into something blind if you've never done it before and just smell and pull smells out of it. You're gonna struggle with finding what that smell is. So it's nice to have a list to go through, at least until you're used to it and you can pull it out. I'm a little more used to it, so I can pull some things out. I'm still definitely not a professional. I'm definitely not, better than anybody else in the whiskey industry, but I've done it a while, so I have a few notes on the top of my head that I'm looking for. Like in a bourbon, I'm always looking for, is it oaky or not? Is it vanilla or not? Caramel or not? For this one case, it's perfumey. I get almost like a floral perfuming. I mean, it makes sense being called Four Roses. You get a nice flower scent on it. Definitely has some vanilla. Definitely classic bourbon undertones with the vanilla. Not too much oakiness. Definitely the fruitiness and the floral notes. Now taste it. There's no real special way to taste it. Well, there is, but it's high proof alcohol, right? If you just shoot it fast, you're not going to get the flavor, you're just going to get the burn. Take a small sip Again, I'm stealing from the Whiskey Tribe here. But they talk about taking a sip like you're taking your first sip of hot coffee. About that size. Just take your time with it. Don't try to shoot it, but also you don't have to sit there and chew on it. Now, to get some more flavors out of it, the next go around, you want to sit here and do what's considered the Kentucky Chew. Now, you hear that? I try to avoid that in my videos a lot of times because it sounds weird, but I want you to hear it this time for sure. You kind of put it on your tongue. Don't chew and don't swish it, but just kind of softly move your mouth so it kind of coats your tongue, and you get different flavors, because different parts of your tongue can taste different flavors. So it just kind of lets you get all the notes out of it. Here I'm getting those floral notes are hard. It's like a perfume almost. Get like a candy caramel though as well. So that's really good on there. Finally, the finish. The finish is easy. All you have to do for the finish is just see A, how long it lasts, how long there's flavor on the back of your mouth, and B, what that flavor is. So on this, it's a pretty long finish. It's there for a good few seconds. It's not quick. To me, that's where I get the oak. Get the most oak and wood flavors on the finish on this one. So that's how to taste bourbon, or at least how I taste bourbon, at least the first time. Taste however you want, learn. Let me get your experiences. If you have other techniques, share them with me. I'd love to hear them. So let me know. As always, like and subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at bourbon_in_college. I post great pictures, all updates on my new videos and audio or podcasts. Excuse me. Facebook. We can continue this discussion on Facebook. There's a Bourbon College Facebook page. I'm starting a group so we can get a discussion going. If you want to support the show, I have a Patreon or I have an Etsy store. Both of those are Bourbon in College, so go check those out. And until next time, check out some more videos and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.